My name is Morgan Reese, and I'm going to be talking through loans, which is Chapter 4, Section D. The first question is on page 250. We're going to figure out what a monthly payment is, the total amount paid, the percent paid towards the principal, and the interest. This is all for a loan that is $12,000 at a 7% APR for 10 years. To find the monthly payment, you have to use a formula. This formula is going to be PMT is equal to the principal, which is 12,000, that would be times by the interest rate, which is 0.07 over top of n, which is 12 because there's 12 months in a year. And then all of that is divided by 1 minus, in parentheses, be 1 plus 0.07 over top of 12. That's in parentheses. And then you would have negative 12 times 10. You have negative 12 because that's the number of months in a year, and then you would multiply that by 10 years. So that on your calculator should equal out to 139.33. So your monthly payment would be $139.33. Now, to figure out your total amount paid, you would take your monthly payment, which is $139, .33, and I'm sorry, my computer is kind of broken, so it does some odd things sometimes. You would multiply that by 12 months, and then you would multiply that by 10 years. See, it just did its weird little thing. And that would be equal to 16,000. Actually, let me just erase this here. So that would be 16,719 and 60 cents. So the total amount that you would be paying for this loan is $16,719.60. Now note before that you're only borrowing $12,000, so you are paying quite a bit of interest for that. Now you would have to find the percent of interest and percent of principal paid throughout this loan. So your total, I'm just going to write T for total minus principal is equal to your interest that you have paid. So your total is, again, your $16,719.60 subtracted from 12,000. That's equal to $4,719.60. So $4,719.60 is how much interest you're paying on a $12,000 loan. Now you have your principal divided by your total, which again is the $12,000 divided by your $16,719.60. That gives you a number of 0.07420. And then if we multiply that number by 100, that gives us a percent of 7.42%. So in reality, you're only paying 7.42% of your monthly payment is going towards the principal. Now you do the same thing for your interest. So your interest divided by your total. So your interest is going to be your $4,719.60, and you would divide that by $16,719.60, and that would give you a total percentage of 291.40%. So pretty much all of your monthly payment is going toward your interest, and not a lot is going towards your principal. Next, we are going to do a 3-month table showing interest and principal of a $15,000 mortgage with a fixed rate of 4% APR for 30 years. So the first step you have to do is find your monthly payment. So we're going to use that same formula we used before. So you would have your 150,000 times that by 0.04 divided by 12, and then all of that would be over top of 1 minus, in parentheses, 1 plus 0.04 divided by 12, in that parentheses, and then you would have a negative 12. But this time it would be multiplied by 30 because we're doing it for 30 years. And this would actually give us an amount of $716.12. So your monthly payment for this loan is $716.12. Here. Next, we have to find our monthly interest. Your interest is your APR divided by 12. So your total interest, or your APR that you're paying, is 0.04% for the entire year. And we're going to divide that by 12, which gives us a number of 0.0033. And then we're going to be using this value as well as the $716.12 through for the next portion of this problem. So now we're going to have to fill in a table. And actually, I'm going to exit out of the PowerPoint so that I can fill in this table and show you. So here, I am going to just zoom in so you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to fix that a little bit. So for your first column, you're figuring out your interest at the end of your first month. So you start out with 150,000 and you times that. I told you this thing just does whatever it wants to do. And you times that by your 0.0033. And then you get a result of $480. $495. So that is how much interest you're paying per month, is $495 your first month. So your payment towards your principal would be your $716.12, because that's your total payment, minus your $495, which I should probably put dollar signs here. And that actually gives us a total of $221.12. So you're only paying $221.12 on your first month towards your principal of your $150,000 loan. So your new principal then would be your $150,000. Subtract that from your $221.12. And that would give you a total of $149,778.88. So for month 2, then you would use your $149,778.88, and then you would times that by the 0.0033, and you would get a value of $494.27. So we're knocking off a little bit here. So then you would have your $716.12 minus your $494.27, and that would give you a value of $221.85 this time. So then you would have your $149,778.88 subtracted by your $221.85, which is then equal to $149,557.03. So we're knocking off a little bit each month, but not a whole lot. And keep in mind that you're still paying $716 a month for this mortgage, so that is a good amount of money. So now we would take our $140,557.03 times that by the 0.0033, which is equal to $493.54. $93.54. Let me get rid of this up here. So our payment towards our principal would be $716.12 subtracted by our $493.54, which is then equal to $222.58. So each time you are paying a little bit more of the principal, but not a whole lot. So then you would have your $149,557.03. Subtract that by your $222.58, and that is equal to $149,000 or $149,334.45. So at the end of 3 months, you're pretty much paying off about $700 of your principal, give or take a little bit. And they haven't quite knocked off $1,000. It'd take about 4.5 months to knock off your first $1,000. Hope you learned from a video. Thank you.